Wow, look at the brightness of the XKGLOW strip compared to this old one, with fewer LEDs, I might add. Stay tuned. What's happening, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. So this is another dope install for you, sponsored by XKGLOW. Guys, I keep going back to these guys because they make phenomenal products. So let's dive into this. Today I'm going to be doing their interior LED accent lighting kit. And as you saw from the preview, these are 10-inch flex strips, and they're freaking pretty bright. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? I just chucked my old kit. I've had it for a long time. You can get them on, you can get those types of kits on Amazon for cheap. But I was shocked that it lasted as long as it did. And the only reason why it actually did, because I barely drive this car. So I barely use the car, I barely use those things, or whatever the case might be. But I have a huge show coming up at the end of this month, Tuner Evo, and XKGLOW hooked me up with some dope lighting products. I even put a link to my previous video for the dome and map lights for the color changing universal bulbs. It's actually pretty cool. Quick side note, you never see companies doing this anymore. Literally, this is the first one. I've installed so many parts in this car before. I've never seen this. They put dielectric grease in all their connectors. Look, dielectric grease wicks any type of moisture from electrical connections and creates that proverbial watertight connection. You know what I mean? This is going to be an interior kit in the car, but still, this is, wow, definitely exceeded my expectations. So in the box, you got 6 10-inch flex strips. You got some 3M tape that's to put behind these harnesses so the connections don't get loose. You have 2 butt ends. That's for the ends of the strips that you're not using. You have actually a hardwire connection here if you decide to do so. You have a cigarette lighter or 12-volt one right here, which I am going to be using, and that gets connected right to the XKGLOW controller. This thing is pretty damn cool. Guys, in this video, as I said, I put a link up to the other video that I have. You can go in there, see how to pair when you power on your items. You can see how to pair it. I showed you a lot of stuff within the app. The app is really sophisticated, where you're controlling multiple zones from one app. So I like, say for instance, right now I have 3 LEDs, 2 map lights and 1 dome lights. I can control all 3 of them simultaneously doing different things. So it's pretty crazy. So now what I'm going to find out is if I'll be controlling each individual strip as well. But we're going to cross that bridge when we get to it. But anyway, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be running this. I'm going to time lapse really quick, and I'm going to be running the wires and whatnot, and then I'll explain what's going on afterwards. All right, guys, so quick update. Everything is hooked up, everything works. So this is what I had to do. So the first strip, so for one of the zones for the controller, one of these thick wires, I hooked it up to one of these strips, plugged it into one of the lights right here, one of the LEDs, okay, one of the flex tubes, okay. Now, once I did that, I ran a strip just like this across from here to the other side, because what's happening is they made their system to kind of like daisy chain off of one another to get power like that. You get what I'm saying? So these thick wires here are zones, okay? So you have, okay, so this one here, this is one zone. One of them is this is a power wire, and then this is another zone. This here, in case you're wondering, they actually were pretty intelligent when they made this. This is optional. So if I wanted, I could wire this to either like my proximity sensor, I could wire this to my map or dome lights, and what that would do is when I open the door, the lights are gonna turn on, which is pretty cool, but I'm not gonna worry about that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end up tucking this under here and hiding all of that stuff, okay? Now, these 3M pieces that they give you, you could take it, slice it in half, okay? And what I did was I put it right under here, so it's holding the joint piece together where you connect both of them, because I noticed that it hangs. So you definitely need that to keep it nice and sturdy. But it looks pretty damn good though, once it's done. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what I did. So one zone, so pretty much this zone here, to recap, it's ran with the 3-foot extension to the flex tube, okay? And then I connected another extension to the flex tube itself on the other side of it, ran it over to the driver's side, hooked that one up. And then the second zone, zone number 2, that one, hooked it up to the extension, ran it to the back, hooked up one, and then daisy chained it over to the other side. And that's it. That's really it. So I just gotta zip tie some stuff up here, and I will show you the finished product. All right, guys, I just forgot to tell you guys that, you know, apart from the install being complete, I remember that I normally had just 4 strips, 1 for the back, 2 for the front, 2 for the back, and XKGLOW gives you 2 extra strips, and you have another 6. I have another 6 feet of wire. So what I'm gonna do is just finish running this right here. I just mocked it up real quick, as you saw from the time lapse, to show you that it can get to the trunk. So now I have it in my trunk as well. So I got the Valentine sequence going on. Look at the tank. Everything is going right now. So all 6 strips in the car, even the ones up top, roof, on the dome, and on the map lights all the way to the front. So I'll be back tonight when it really gets dark to show you how everything looks with the app. This looks good, right? Look how cool this app is. So this is the chameleon right here. Turn it on. Once I scan the shrimp, it'll turn orange. Look at the inside of the car. How sick is that? All right, guys, it's a little bit later in the evening. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna show you a screen recording. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna power this on by using my 12-volt connector in here. And that's how I'm getting power for this. It's not hardwired to the battery. So let's power this on. Nice and white. Perfect. So it's on in here, as you can see. On at 2 locations in the back, driver and passenger side. Okay, so let's get on with the app real quick. Now, before I jump on the app, I want to show you this real quick. This is the XKGLOW controller right here. This separates zones 1 and 2. Okay, now what's gonna happen is, and this is exactly what I want to show you. Let's say you didn't have the app on or you didn't have your phone nearby. Right where the XKGLOW is breathing, right underneath it, there is like an indent for your thumb. When you touch it, look what happens. So every time I touch this lightly, and it can just keep going and going with different cycles, different patterns, millions of colors, different types of rhythms, and so forth. So that's one way to control it. Okay, so let's jump on here with the app real quick. All right, guys, this is the portion of the video where I just run down some of the features of the app. Please refer to my previous video where I did my map and dome lights for XKGLOW, and you'll see how I paired each individual light. And the cool thing, as I told you about this product and this app before. It's a very, very advanced. The app is very intricate, where you can run, like I'm going to show you. I'm going to be running all my ambient lights plus my dome and map lights off of one app simultaneously at the same time, and I can run them doing different things or independently from each other. Okay, so let's go in here real quick. Make sure you download the XKGLOW app from the App Store or Google Play. Once you pop that bad boy open, hit the upper, that little hamburger menu in the upper right hand corner, and now you can see all of the stuff that's on right now. So I have my map lights, map 1, map 2. If you notice the XKGLOW RGB rear and front, those are the rear and front zones, and then I have the dome light. So the rear, if I go and I toggle that off, that's the lights from the back, like behind the back seats and the trunk. I'm gonna toggle it back on, and if I do the front and so forth. Now, guys, to change the name, well, let's go to pairing first. Obviously, I had to pair it before to make sure it works. So all you have to do is make sure you power on it, and once you click that hamburger menu, it'll ask you to pair it. And pairing is super easy. As I said, refer to my previous video and you will be okay. Now, to rename your stuff, all you got to do is hit this signal looking type Wi-Fi menu right there. You go in here, it'll tell you the controller name. So I put XKGLOW Ambient Lights, rear and front. And when you're done, hit save. And that's it. That's why you see XKGLOW Ambient Lights. That's the second one down. You see it right there, rear and front. Okay, so now let's go in this bad boy and check this out real quick. So now let's say I'm gonna go into theme, and what I did was I went into Valentine because I like it's a nice breath. It breathes really, really nice. So when you go in here, you hit the exclamation mark right there, and you can add, I added a lot of different colors and stuff like that. So I added all these colors right here, and I hit save. And you could pick literally how you want the rhythm to go. I like it exactly how it's going right here, right now. Okay? Look at that. That's freaking cool. So now, let's get out of here real quick. So that's the Valentine going right there. And I want to show you something. We're going to go to palette, the lower left-hand corner. Okay? So let me see. Where are my zones? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So number 2. Yep. Okay. So how it's laid out here: 1, dome is 1, rear is 2, front is 3, map is 4, map 2 is 5. So that's these numbers you're seeing right here. So when I move the 2, look at the one in the trunk moving and changing colors. So what I'm going to do with the trunk is, since I selected that, I'm going to move it to strobe. Now, while that's strobing, and this is what I'm talking about independently, look, so the one in the trunk and in the back seat, it's the same zone. Okay? So now look at the one in the passenger side. It's breathing, and the map lights and the dome light is still breathing as well. Can you see it? Look at that. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. These things can function independently from each other. And that's freaking awesome. So let me just put it back to breathe. And it's real simple. As I showed you guys earlier, the chameleon right here, that chameleon is fantastic. Once you hone in on a color and it scans it, it changes to it. So that's pretty cool. And obviously it's breathing right now. You can just toggle the speed of it back and forth and just go to town, man. Just go to town. It's, you know, sky's the limit. You can use music as well. And you can make up your own themes. So there's a whole lot of themes on here. Christmas, Independence Day, you name it. And that's it. Now when you're done, you can actually shut all the lights off just from the app, or just power it off from the inside of the car. But all in all, this is pretty sick. It looks really, really freaking cool. XKGLOW, thank you so much for hooking me up with this. Looks really good, man. Really, really cool. Really, really cool. And I will tell you, it's definitely brighter than my stock setup. Now, once you shut everything off and you power it on, it's gonna power on one color until you go into the app and start messing around with it. So let's say you shut it off real quick and you power it back on. Now, guess what? That's how the light is. It's a nice white light until, now once you get into the app and everything gets powered on and you start messing with it, it'll change color. And that's it. That's all she wrote. So guys, once again, definitely like, subscribe, comment. XKGLOW, thank you so much for sending me this stuff. Guys, everything is going to be in a link in the description. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.